guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Peyton, for those of you who don't know me, and today I'm going to show you how to round brush your hair. I did a little poll on Instagram the other day and round brush tutorial won by a landslide. So if you'd like to know how I round brush my hair and a couple tips and tricks and some products I like to use, then keep watching. So what you'll need for this look are just a couple things: a round brush, a paddle brush, and some clips for sectioning off. You can use any of your favorite ones. These are just my faves. And of course, a blow dryer. This one is my favorite. It's the Babyliss, I think that's how you pronounce it, Babyliss Pro. It has so much power, it's pretty loud, but it works amazing and it dries hair so fast. It's great. These are all the products I'm going to be using. You definitely don't have to use this many. I know it looks like a lot, but I really want to get some longevity out of my round brush, so that is why I'm using all of these. I'll go more into detail later when I'm putting them into my hair. Okay, so first we're going to detangle our freshly washed and conditioned hair and towel dry it. Get as much of the moisture out of it as you can, and then we prep it. So first I'm going to use full.again. This stuff is awesome. It's a thickening lotion by Kevin Murphy. My hair is really fine, so this helps kind of bond to all of the hair and give it a little bit more oomph. It is pretty thick, so it's hard to get out of the bottle. Oh my god, I'm having such a hard time. I'm really having a hard time. You don't need a lot. Like, even this is probably too much. This much-ish. And then rub it around in your hands. Disperse it evenly throughout damp hair. I feel like a commercial. Keep a towel handy so you can wipe your sticky hands off. I like brushing through it again just to make sure it's all even. And then the next product I'm using wet is, or the only other product I'm using wet, is a mousse. This one is I Want Body Volume Foam by 11. It's a thinner mousse. I use like 2 pumps. Rub it around in my hands and do kind of the same thing, but focus it more on the roots. And that'll give you more lift in the round brush. And then I brush that through too. Next step is to part your hair wherever you want it to be parted. I'm gonna do almost a middle part, because that's just where it felt like going today. Okay, so the first trick with round brushing is not to start using your round brush until your hair is like 80% dry. If you start trying to round brush, like how skinny my hair is, right when it's wet, you're gonna tire yourself out. So I start with this brush and I kind of just flatten right around my face where it starts to get curly and do that, and then just kind of power dry. So I'm gonna do that. So now that my hair is like 80% dry, I would say really 80% dry. Can you see? Like my roots are definitely dry. That's what you want. So next, you're going to section off your hair. This helps to keep your hair from not getting tangled around the brush and just keeping everything neat. Because with air blowing around, and if your hair's not all secure, it gets really hard. So the first that I do is, so you're never, the sections you want for your round brush sections are never wider than your brush. So the sections that you do on your head, you want to do the width of your brush. I hope that makes sense. So I start with the top where your part is, or where my part is. And then section this out of the way. If your ends get tangled, then brush them. And I just do like a little twisty-do. Twisty-do. Bloop. And then the other one, next one I do, it's like right at my ears. See, that's like the same. See? And then pointer fingers right at the top of the ears, and then just go straight back, and they will just go straight together. Pretty easy. And again, keep this all neat. You can't expect clean results with messy middle parts. Whatever. Clip that out of the way. Okay, now the fun part, the actual round brushing. Detangle. I'm a broken record, but keep your hair untangled. I section or divide this one in two. And then how you start is you're gonna start with your brush in the hair. And these, I'm gonna go all towards, it's not a lot of wrist movement. A lot of people tend to think it's all with your wrist, but a lot of times it's just like a little bit. So I start right here, and then we're gonna do a motion like this. And that's it. So let's do it with blow dry. I use the nozzle because it directs all the heat. It just comes out of that one tiny hole. So it's all right, directed exactly where you want it. Don't ever put this right on top of it because you'll burn your hair. So always keep it a little further away from the actual hair, else you'll burn it. I did twist it a little bit just at the very bottom. So when you get towards the bottom and your hair is not completely wrapped around the brush, you just twist it. And that gives you the little bend at the end. And then you let go and let the hair cool down on the brush. When you let it cool, that's when it sets the curl. And it's not actually a curl because this is so big, but you'll see, it just gives you that nice bouncy round brush effect. And then with this side, it's the same thing, but now it's actually easier to see. See, like this, and then you're just gonna do one straight motion all the way down, and at the very bottom is when you twist. And remember, let it cool down around the brush. Ta-da. And that's your bottom part. And then your sections are already so neat, you just take down the next clip. I take this section right by my face to right behind my ear. And that's my next section. With this front, instead of holding it horizontal like we did on the bottom, I like to hold it more at like a diagonal, kind of like that. Does that make sense? Like right where your cheek goes up, see? That's where I hold it. And then with this, you want to get more volume. So instead of making it go straight down, you're going to take this and go up. Again, take this and go up. And then you're going to twist. Now we do it with the blow dryer. Pretty. Detangling every single section really does help. And now with these ones, it's more flat, horizontal holding, and then making it go out that way for some more body. Depending on how wet your hair is, you might have to go over it a couple times or do the brush a couple times. So I always like to dry from the root out. So you're pushing all the water off of your hair. If you hold the blow dryer and it's like blowing water up towards your hair, then you're kind of defeating the purpose and it takes a lot longer. So you want to think of pushing all the water towards the ends of your hair. So that means blow drying from the root to the middle to the end. The back is still horizontal. Let's see if I can like turn myself. Still horizontal, and you're going backwards like that. So you're gonna be going backwards, and then you can put your blow dryer down to readjust it and go up to the top again until from here to there is dry, and then you work on the ends and pull those in like that. And that's the twist of your wrist. The twist of your wrist is only with the ends. Once it's all pretty dry and you just want to kind of curl the ends, it's a lot easier to hold it down here while you're doing that, because just holding your arm down below your shoulders is easier than holding it up. And round brushing is really tiring, so take breaks if you need to. Woo. Don't be afraid to try different hand positions. I know on this side, I held it more like this, and this side, it's just kind of weird with my wrist like that, so I flip the brush and twist that way. It's the same position, or it's the same diagonal, but just a different wrist position. And then the last section. This is where your hair's parted. So just drop it down where it parts. And I start in the back. These ones are different. So you want more body on the top, obviously. So you're gonna detangle it and hold it all the way up straight. And then you're gonna have it diagonal to your head and bring it forward and up. Forward and up. And then let it cool on the brush. And then you just keep moving forward and doing the same thing. Still detangling your hair because that helps keeping everything neat. This front section I blow dry away from my face. It's the same movement we've been doing with the whole top section. And then this is the same, but you're just gonna move your hand position. Let it cool. Move forward. Great. So the round brushing gives you a more bouncy va-va-voom effect, and that's why we love it. The next thing I'm going to do is add still a little bit more volume and hold. I'm going to use doo.over just like I did in my previous video. It's a dry powder finishing spray. It's my total favorite. It's best for anyone with fine hair or someone that doesn't really like the shininess or stickiness of hairspray. It's not sticky like hairspray at all. It just gives you more grit to your hair, so it's not so slippery. See how much thicker this side is compared to this side? And then the next thing I'm going to use is Easy Rider. This is a little anti-frizz like paste cream. You really only need like a tiny dot on your finger. And this helps with any little flyaways. If you ever get any of those guys up here like I do, or just any weird pieces, you rub it around in your hand so that you don't see anything, your hands just look a tiny bit shiny. And then I just kind of go through the whole hair and try and coat a super, super thin coat on everything. It just keeps all those little, anything staticky or those tiny flyaways. That's what that is for. And then last but not least, a little bit of hairspray. I know not everyone likes hairspray, but this stuff is really awesome. It's by Kenra. It's a volume spray. It says super hold, but it isn't hard. It's kind of like do-over, but in a hairspray. It's a little stickier, so it has more hold, but it's still not that bad. It doesn't make your hair hard or crunchy. And I just do a light misting. And the trick with hairspray is like, so I like a little bit more volume up on top and kind of those little natural pieces. So have your hand like this and hold it and then let it go and let it dry. You don't want to go through hairspray when it's wet because then it's sticky and that's not good. Just wait for it to dry and then you can kind of brush through it. Same with this side, hands like a comb. Just a tiny bit. And then wait for it to dry, which it is because it's not very thick. And that's it. So here's the finished look. It is a nice voluminous blow dry. So I hope this is what you guys wanted. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you liked this video, or if you have any other ideas or other things you'd like me to show you how to do, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below and give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to know more. Okay, thank you guys, bye.